What do you do when one of your employees wants to take your job? What do you do if you think that they might even do a better job than you? This is exactly what happened to SaaS influencer Dan Martell earlier this month, and today I want to talk about what exactly happened here and my take on a few key lessons that we can all learn from situations like this. What's up everyone, your favorite CFO Logan from Forecaster here. If you're a founder looking to learn from stories of other founders, then this video is going to be for you. Today I'm going to be talking about the recent shakeup at the SaaS Academy, going through what exactly went down and what we can take away from this in order to make ourselves better entrepreneurs. But first, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so that I can bring you more CFO insights on what exactly is happening in the venture market. Let's dive in. SaaS Academy was founded in 2016 by serial entrepreneur Dan Martell. Now, despite Dan's previous successes founding other businesses, including Clarity.fm and Flowtown, the SaaS Academy had a relatively humble beginnings. If you take a quick look at his YouTube page, you'll see Dan posting relatively low quality unscripted videos around a decade ago, getting modest views and engagement. It's a far cry from the production value that we all see today. He kept at it though, posting videos consistently, and the views started climbing. People loved his relatable backstory and his easy to understand teaching styles, and soon he had an audience of really highly engaged SaaS founders. In an effort to lean into helping these companies, he started offering paid coaching, and thus the SaaS Academy was born. Today, the SaaS Academy boasts thousands of SaaS clients and millions of dollars in annual revenue. They host events all over the world, several of which I've been to, and I've personally been able to meet Dan on a handful of occasions. I can attest he's a super sharp, magnetic, and really engaging person. Recently though, the SaaS Academy team dropped an unexpected bombshell. Dan was going to be stepping down as CEO of SaaS Academy and was going to be replaced by the former Chief Revenue Officer, Johnny Page. This was a major shift, and Dan openly discussed how they came to this point on one of their recent podcast episodes, but the quick summary was that Dan was being pulled into a multitude of different directions with several of his other businesses that he was involved in, including Martell Media and High Speed Ventures, just to name a few. Dan no longer felt that the work that he was doing was in his zone of genius, and he was more interested in creating engaging content rather than running the business day to day. Meanwhile, Johnny was eager to jump in and step up in a really big way. He shared with Dan on one of their routine hikes that it was his dream to become the CEO of SaaS Academy one day, something that I'm sure took a lot of bravery to share with the current CEO. Now, Dan was faced with a choice. Does he hold on to that coveted CEO title and the control that comes with it, facing the risk of one of his 8 players might leave to become the CEO of another company? Or does he step aside and let Johnny take the reins, allowing him to focus on content? In the end, Dan chose the latter, and today Johnny Page is the CEO of SaaS Academy. This interaction showed incredible leadership and maturity all around. Johnny showed honesty and bravery in opening up to Dan about his dream of being the CEO, and Dan showed maturity and trust in stepping aside and handing over the title. Today I want to talk about my biggest 3 learnings after watching all of this unfold. My first learning here is that honesty is paramount when managers communicate with employees and vice versa. If you think about different ways that this could have unfolded, you can really think of 2 main ones, which is that Johnny could have left to go be the CEO somewhere else, or Johnny could have completely swallowed his dream, never voiced his opinion, and never communicated, forever being left wondering what could have been. So in the end, Johnny and Dan did have that difficult conversation. I'm sure that it was an uncomfortable conversation to have between an employee and a boss, but ultimately it ended up for the best outcome for both of them. Johnny was able to step up and live out his dream of being a CEO, and Dan was able to focus more on what he loved to do in the first place, which is the content side. It was a win-win no matter how you look at it. My second takeaway is that in order for a business to continue to thrive, you constantly need to evaluate if everybody is on the right seat of the bus, and that includes you as the founder. Mature founders will recognize when they've hit their ceiling in terms of how they're able to perform, or hit their ceiling in terms of their passion for the day-to-day of the job that they have. Now, in this case, Dan saw that Johnny was similarly capable to him in terms of the ability to do the job as the CEO, and more passionate about that job in that moment. The end result was a win-win. My third takeaway is that you should always focus on your area of genius, which is the thing that you're not only best at, but the thing that gives you energy and makes you the happiest. This is going to not only lead to a better life, but lead to higher quality product in the end, because your passion is going to come out in your work. With this transition, because Johnny is so passionate about having this role, I have no doubt that the quality of SaaS Academy is going to continue to increase. And since Dan is able to focus on the content, which is where he has the most passion, I believe that that's going to come out in all of the videos that we see from him as well. So those are the 3 biggest learnings that I took from the SaaS Academy shakeup. But what are your takeaways? Add your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear all of your perspectives as well. And if you want to hear more of a CFO's take on current events in the venture market, I'm going to be dropping a ton of free content here on YouTube. go ahead, like the video, subscribe to my channel, maybe even hit the bell. And if you want to learn more about fundraising and how metrics and finance can help you run your business better, head on over to Forecaster's website to get in touch with a member of our team. Until then, keep building. We'll talk soon.